When it comes to stairs like this, we have no stringer to attach to, so what we have to do is plate them. This is a washer plate that goes on the bottom and it matches to the post. This is how we connect them. With a through bolt connection, this will actually allow us to have a perfect secure sandwich to the 2x6. So it'll be like this, and like this, and then it'll be a nut and bolt right through, and then we'll put our plates to cover up the base. A really simple template is to take the plate, trace it down, square it up with your speed square. Move that post out of the way. Square it with your speed square. Okay. So if we have that all squared up, then when we remove the post, you get our holes perfect. Okay. So this is how you keep your holes nice and perfect. Square up the plate, get it marked to where you need it to be, drill the holes through the plate, remove the plate, and you'll be guaranteed perfect holes every time. So when we're installing universal angle brackets, there's one key note here. They come with a package of screws, and the package of screws are specifically for these 2 points on the outside edge. So if you look inside, you will notice those screws are just touching. If we use the other screws, they would actually interfere with each other. So just a note, use the package screws on this portion of the bracket, and make sure you use the regular screws on this portion of the bracket. So just a quick note, remember, between the 2 universal angle mounting brackets, we have 28 5/8 of an inch. That's the key number here. When you're making your stairs, make sure you've got 28 5/8 between these 2 circular plates. So just so you can see the full step, this is how I'm gonna mark it out and get it mounted. Bottom rail installation, just to set the whole entire railing system up. I'm gonna lay it on the front of the nosings of the stair treads. Now notice how it's missing here. That's okay, okay? Because the key has to follow the stairs. So we're gonna go up, we're gonna make our first mark, and then we'll come down to the bottom, make the next mark. Okay, take bottom rail out, transfer the lines across the post. So a little more mark, show up. Same with this one. Then we get our UAB bracket, and I'm gonna screw these circular plates on. After that's done, we're gonna drill a 1/2 inch hole underneath here so the wire can pass through. This comes down underneath, loops through, down the top rail, into the next top rail down here. And again, we have to get the feed to connect into here because we're going underneath these stairs across. So we have this connector. This is a 13-foot connector that's gonna work to run the power to go over to this stair, to run up to that stair and end. So make sure you get your holes in the posts after everything's mounted before you install all your railings. And that way you can feed all your wires through. This connector here will come out this hole into the LED ribbon, and then everything will be done. Bottom rails drop right in. Top rail, just to get it right, just so you know, the posts need to be fixed. So how do you install them? Because the other way, when we're doing it on a flat surface, we leave the post loose so we can wiggle in our top rail. What I like to do is pre-assemble all the UAB brackets, then I take the top one off and I put it on. Because it already has the holes in it and it's been installed, it makes it that much easier. So then when I walk over here, I slip it in, and it holds itself in place. So now it's resting up here. All I'm gonna do is fix the last 2 screws in, put them right back in the holes that are already there, and it's done. Here's another quick tip. When we're running our LED lights, all we're doing is taking the paper back off and then we push it up inside the rail channel. Now when it's an LED G strip that's in here for the glass, we're simply just feeding them up inside this area here. As it feeds through and it jumps into the next connection here and it comes down, these get tricky and they get really annoying sometimes. One little tip I have for you at home is when you get into the hole here, push it up and out versus trying to feed it down and in. It's 1,000 times easier than ever having to drop it down the post. But try and keep in mind, whenever you're putting your connections together, you're thinking about this part going in the hole and then up and out. Make your connections on the top. I use the cap to hold them in place so I don't lose them. Heaven forbid they fall down the hole, that'd be annoying. But do that. And then of course, when we're all done, we make our connection, we put our heat shrink sleeve over top, heat it up, get that weather tight bond, and then stuff them back in the post. Do all you can to avoid cutting these, because once you cut them, well, it's no good. What we like to do with all the excess, especially at an end post, if this is the last post and this is where the terminal is ending, don't snip the end. Just stuff it inside the post and leave it there for slack. It allows for expansion and contraction. If the post and the deck ever decide to move a little bit, at least you have some slack inside the post and it makes it stay still. When you're installing your pickets, one of the coolest factors of them is the fact that they actually have a milled line in them. Check this out. Okay, right here, this milled line allows it to snap into the rail so that once it's installed, and you know it's installed well, you can slide the picket up and down without any issue. That's how you know you've actually locked it into these, and it stops it from being moved. And then after we're done, we're just gonna put in our spacer plates and call it a day. Basically, what we're gonna do is cut the spacers. One of the biggest tricks that I've learned, and it's saved all your fingers for ever trying to hold this thing on there and try and cut it. Scrap piece of bottom rail, slide it on there, make a mark where you need it to cut, hold it on the bottom rail, keep your fingers away from the blade so you don't have to lose them anymore. There you have it, just that easy. Now I just take this piece off and I go snap it in place. And there's the final product. Stairs installed. We'll have to come back for some night shots. Show off all these lights. We're gonna clean this all up. Obviously, we still have a lot of cleaning to do, but you can see there is 120 feet of railing all installed. This aluminum system from Regal is absolutely easy, simple, and looks great.